Okay. This is the Commissioner meeting of February 11th, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the Sussex County Administrative Center, Commissioner Meeting Room, 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey. Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Carney?
Here.
Deputy Director DeGroot?
Here.
Commissioner Henderson?
Here.
Commissioner Silverthorne?
Here.
Director Space?
Here. A moment of silence and salute to the flag. Today's moment of silence is going to be in honor of Byram Councilman Harvey Rosoff, who died this past week. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice as defined by Section 3D of Chapter 231, PL 1975 has been made by the regular mail and email, such notice being submitted on January 6, 2026 from the Administrative Center of the County of Sussex, located at 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey, to the following: the New Jersey Herald, Star Ledger, and Strauss News, and is also posted on the bulletin board maintained in the Administrative Center for Public Announcements and has been submitted to the Sussex County Clerk in compliance with said act. At this time, please mute all electronic devices. Number 5, approval of agenda. There is a change to tonight's agenda. We will be tabling item 14I.
There are some corrections that we just need to make to that creation.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner Henderson,
Second.
Commissioner Silverthorne, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Number 6, there's no proclamation, certificates, and presentations. Number 7, no public hearing. Number 8, public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make a comment of 3 minutes or less regarding an agenda item. Please line up at the microphone and state your name, municipality, and agenda topic for the record. Can I get a motion to open the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Okay, Deputy DeGroot, and a second?
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Carney, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. The floor is open. Sure. Okay.
This is this on? Can you hear me? There you go. Sure. Yep. Gotcha. All right, this is all right, thank you. This is item 24, paragraph 7, executive session discussion regarding the Newton Green, Ken Collins, Andover Township, sorry. The Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, FIRE, wrote to the County Board of Commissioners at the end of December. Their letter spelled out numerous unconstitutional details in the county's policy regarding the Newton Green and spelled out the legal decisions that support their unconstitutionality, if you will. They asked for a substantive response within 2 weeks. The county at the 11th hour requested more time to respond, which was cordially agreed to by FIRE. Last week, FIRE received a response from the county's attorneys, which said, I quote, "Our office has presented proposed changes to the document's resolution at issue. The county is expected to review our proposed changes at the next meeting. It is possible formal action may be taken at that time," end quote. The response did not include any details of the proposed changes. I urge the commissioners to make all the suggested and necessary changes to conform with FIRE's recommendations and the United States Constitution tonight in your executive session and come out here and pass those changes without delay. Thank you.
Can you respond now?
Yes.
So, I appreciate that, Mr. Collins, and thank you. I've personally not communicated with, the folks from fire. One of the associates of my firm did, mostly just to tell them that we were looking at it. Frankly, we've been looking at the ordinance since we first adopted it. We had made a change a month after removing the auto insurance requirement, after someone had raised an issue. And since then, the commissioners had asked me to kind of to give us some time and make some tweaks where necessary. I don't agree with most of the positions taken in the fire letter. That notwithstanding, it's not my intention to create a situation where the county has to unnecessarily enter into some sort of litigation. So I did go to some lengths to present them with written documents a week ago. We're going to review those tonight, and so I can sort of explain to them the legal ins and outs of them, get a little direction as to what it should look like in final form, and then I expect at a future meeting, whether it's the next one or whenever we come back, to bring them perhaps a draft ordinance, a draft and a draft permit consistent with, quite frankly, my recommendations, less so than fire's recommendations. But I'm hopeful that it's something that everybody will agree makes sense under the First Amendment. So that's where we're at. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Agenda topics only? Okay. Can I get a motion to close the floor for public comment?
Motion.
Okay.
Second.
Commissioner Silverthorne and Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oppose, abstain. Number 9, Commissioner comments. Commissioner Silverthorne.
Okay. Still getting situated, but I've attended several of the municipalities which I am a liaison to, namely Andover Borough, Andover Township, Branchville, and also actually that was it so far. I attended a VOTEC, and we had a VOTEC meeting with Commissioner Space, Director Space, and concerning some possible shared service agreements with SEC. I think that went well, and it's going to continue. I attended a SCUMA reception and also a SWAC meeting last night. Additionally, I have a couple of comments here from, first of all, from Senior Services. A Senior Services Caregiver Support Group meeting will be held virtually by Zoom from 2 to 3 p.m. on Thursday, February 19th, 2026. The group helps to reduce the negative effects of stress and increases the physical and psychological wellness of the caregiver. It also provides information about programs and services available to the caregiver, information on how to access these services, and provides referrals as necessary. Please call the Division of Senior Services at 973-579-0555, extension 1288, to obtain additional information or to register to attend those meetings. And then also from the library, the Sussex County Library System is proud to spotlight its Rapid Reads collection designed for adult readers who enjoy engaging stories in a shorter format. These high-interest titles feature compelling, mature themes and fast-paced storylines that make reading accessible and enjoyable. These best books are especially helpful for adults experiencing memory or attention challenges, as well as anyone looking for a satisfying read that can be finished more quickly than a traditional novel. For more information about the library's catalog and services, please visit sussexcountylibrary.org or visit any branch of the library. And then finally, for my commissioners and also the public's knowledge, I will not be at the next meeting. I have a vacation that was scheduled long before I think before I even thought about running for this position. And I don't want anyone to think I picked up any bad habits of the person I replaced up here. So I will not be at the next meeting. But I'll be back after that. That's it. Thanks.
Thanks, Dave. Commissioner Henderson.
On January 29th, I, along with Commissioner Director Space and Silverthorne, attended Sussex County Community College tour along with Congressman Tom Kane, Dr. Homer, and staff. It was nice to see our congressman taking time to visit our county college and what it has to offer. On Monday, February 2nd, Commissioner Director Space, Commissioner Carney, and I attended the swearing in of our new Sussex County prosecutor, Dan Perez. Also on February 2nd, Commissioner Carney and I attended a county planning board meeting where Conchetto Formica was sworn in as the 2026 chair. Jennifer Johnson was sworn in as a full member of the planning board. And anyone interested in becoming an alternate member, please submit your information ASAP so the position can be filled. February 4th, I attended the Sussex County MUA regular meeting where Ron Patillo and John Wesley were sworn in as board members. Also, Mr. Patillo was sworn in as the chair of the committee. On February 6th, Commissioner DeGroot and I attended a review meeting for the capital budget. On February 10th, Commissioner Director Space, Commissioner Silverthorne and I attended the Sussex County Chamber breakfast. It seems like it's been a quiet 2 weeks. Everybody's been busy shoveling snow and trying to keep warm. But look on the bright side, we got 37 days till spring. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Carney.
Uh, 2025-26 winter session has continued to be very active, as Commissioner Henderson just said. So far this season, the Division of Public Works has activated 18 winter storms. The winter response program has included upwards of 16,500 staff hours allocated to operating equipment and managing the program's 67 plow routes. The county response has included the use of approximately 18,000 tons of de-icing salt. The total county investment in the winter response program for labor, equipment, and materials has exceeded $3 million. The board recognizes and appreciates the long hours and dedication of the Public Works team, along with the county support staff involved in providing the public service in a highly professional and capable manner. And that goes for facilities and fleet as well. Fleet keeps our plow trucks operating and running in all kinds of weather, working through the night as our DPW plows the snow off the road. Sussex County Guardrail Upgrade Program. The Division of Engineering recently completed work on a construction contract that upgraded all guide rail systems along County Route 519 from Warren County line in Greene to New Jersey Route 94 in Newton. The work included replacement of 54 guide rail systems and included 14,250 feet of rail and 92 terminal ends. Work on the project began in early November and was completed mid-January of this year, and the project investment was $1,087,450, was funded using Sussex County capital. Sussex County Trail Grants Program. I brought this up at our last meeting. I'll revisit it again. Division of Planning hosted a virtual meeting on February 4th with interested applicants, which reviewed the 26 Trails Grant Program. As a reminder, solicitations for the program will remain open through May 15th. The grant program is funded through the Sussex County Farmland Preservation, Recreation, Open Space Trust Fund. Grants can be used to assist eligible applicants with construction, rehabilitation, restoration, and maintenance of publicly owned shared use grants. Questions or more information on the grant program can be provided by contacting the Sussex County Division of Planning at 973-579-0500. I think some of the commissioners hit on what we've done over the last couple of weeks. I did attend Crime Stoppers with Commissioner Silverthorne last Monday. I also attended with Commissioner Silverthorne the Byron Police Station. Congressman Tom Kane was able to get a grant for their police station, which if you read in the paper over the last few years, needed a major upgrade. I think it's been 40 or 50 years, I believe, since they had any upgrades, and that amount was $1,237,500, which is a nice grant to get back here in Sussex County for our officers. I think we hit on the SCUMA reorg. I was there, and I also had a state planning board meeting last couple of weeks, and I'll keep you guys abreast on what's going on with that. That's all I have.
Deputy Director DeGroot.
Yes. First, Commissioner Director Space and I, along with Deputy Administrator Lorraine Hentz, had the opportunity to meet with the Fairgrounds Management to discuss hosting a centralized countywide celebration for the 250th anniversary of America's independence. We are enthusiastic about this collaborative effort and pleased to announce that the celebration will be held at Sussex County Fairgrounds in Frankfort on Sunday, June 7th, which is exciting. I would like to thank Mike Richards for his leadership and partnership. Our next step is to solidify the promotion of the event at the upcoming mayor's meeting and work with all Sussex County mayors to ensure broad participation among the municipalities. Moving on, I was able to attend the Public Sussex County Trails Grant webinar. I just want to thank Joel and Autumn for leading such an informative session. Since I joined the Board of Commissioners, I've been extremely pleased with the growth of this program and proud of where it stands today. I look forward to hearing the application submitted late spring, early summer. Additionally, I attended Sussex County MUA reorganization. I just wanted to congratulate Chairman Ron Patillo, Vice Chairman John Drake, and Secretary Andrea Kukula for their election to leadership. Also, as mentioned, Commissioner Henderson and I attended the capital budget hearing. Finally, had the pleasure of attending some community events since our last meeting. I was able to support and attend Sussex County Technical School's Outdoor and Archery Club's game dinner, which was outstanding. Would recommend everyone attend next year. Also had the privilege of speaking at Rolling Hills Primary School in Vernon about the role of local government. I truly enjoyed explaining what a county commissioner does and highlighting the many valuable services Sussex County provides. I was especially happy to learn that the students' favorite county service is our outstanding library system. Specifically, they love the comics and nonfiction over there. So, great group of kids. That's all. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you. I want to again thank the DPW and facilities for an excellent job clearing our roads and walkways after yet another storm. Thank you to our county administrator, Christina Marks, for being accessible during the latest storm. I didn't expect a quick text at 6 a.m. to Christina of a tree in the middle of the road on a Saturday morning and have her text me right back that she had the county road department was headed over to check it out. I also want to thank all the linemen who worked in sub-zero temperatures with high winds to restore power to residents who were without. My business and our rentals were out over 20 hours, and we have 4 of our properties with busted pipes, and we are in a huge mess, but thank you to all the local businesses that stepped up to help us so quickly. I recently attended the first Ginny's House board meeting of 2026. The first fundraiser of 2026 is a Boots and Boogie Country Line Dancing on Sunday, February 22nd at 1 p.m. at the Fountain House in Frieden. And they also thanked this board of commissioners for passing a resolution supporting the return of the federal VOCA funding. I attended the meeting along with the other commissioners at Sussex County Community College, where Dr. Corey Homer met with Congressman Tom Kane. It was a very great conversation. I attended the Andover Township Volunteer Fire Department's annual installation dinner. An award was given out to firefighter Gil Tagliatella for 50 years of active service. Congratulations. And I was happy to attend the swearing in of Dan Perez as the new county prosecutor. In 4 years, we've had 3 acting prosecutors. So it's very nice to have someone in there permanently. Recently, Commissioner Henderson and I had the opportunity to speak in front of Fire Chiefs Association at a meeting in Byram. We've had a very open line of communication with them the last 2 months over the appointment of a new fire marshal. We recently appointed at our last meeting, after we came back from executive session, we appointed Wantage resident Mark Snook, who is a longtime volunteer firefighter, as the new fire marshal. Commissioner Silverthorne and I met with Sussex Tech School Board President Bob Hayden, Sussex County Community College President Herb Yardley, Board President Herb Yardley, and Dr. Corey Homer from Sussex County Community College. It's extremely important to keep the line of communication open between the 2 schools and the commissioners. And this way we can see, like Dave said, what shared services would benefit both schools along with the taxpayers. Also attended the SCUMA reorg with the other commissioners. Commissioner DeGroot, Deputy Administrator Lorian Hens, and I, and our new confidential assistant, Ken Schwimmer, attended the meeting about the 250th anniversary celebration that we're going to have on June 7th, so save the date. And like they said, we attended the chamber breakfast. Today, Commissioner Carney and I, along with the budget subcommittee, Christina Marks, Elke Yetter, Ken, had our budget, and our biggest problem with the budget this year, which I think most of you can already guess, is going to be health insurance costs, the rise in health insurance, which is going to hit all the municipalities and all the schools too. And then tonight, Commissioner Carney, Henderson, and myself also had a meeting with the Board of School Estimate from the college, and they came up here. And I want to say that it is very refreshing to sit on a board with 4 other active members, and that we are all out there doing things together and running the county the way that it should be. And then my report for The Health Department is, there's a Division of Health, Office of Public Health Nursing. A women's health screening clinic will be held on Thursday, February 26th from 4:30 to 7:30 at the Office of Public Health Nursing, 201 Wheatsworth Road in Hamburg. This clinic offers a variety of health screenings and education. This service is free to uninsured and underinsured county residents who qualify for the New Jersey Cancer Education and Early Detection Program. To make an appointment, call the Office of Public Health Nursing at 973-579-0570, extension 1275. Division of Health, Communicable Diseases, Influenza and Respiratory Illness. According to the New Jersey Department of Health and Respiratory Illness Surveillance Report, for the week ending January 31st, 2026, influenza activity continues to decrease in New Jersey. Reported cases, emergency department visits, test positivity, and wastewater viral levels are all lower than the previous week. Hospitalizations remain higher among individuals aged 65 and older, with influenza A still predominant. Influenza B cases have also been reported. RSV hospitalizations have slightly decreased, with the highest admissions in children 0 to 4 years and older adults 65 and up. RSV activity remains lower than last year through test positivity is elevated. COVID-19 hospital admissions have increased slightly, mostly among those ages 65 and older. The dominant variant remains Omicron XFG. Respiratory outbreaks in long-term care facilities have been linked to influenza, COVID-19, and RSV, while school outbreaks are mostly due to influenza. There have been 0 confirmed pediatric influenza-associated deaths and no outbreaks in Sussex County. Infectious illness. A total of 160 cases of communicable and tick-borne illnesses were reported in January of 2026, which I'm going to doubt are tick-borne illnesses because it's not really tick season, which represents a decrease from 375 cases recorded in January 2025. The data on infectious illnesses shows that there were no deaths reported in January of 2026, which is a decrease from the 6 reported deaths in January of 2025. And there are no confirmed cases of measles in Sussex County, so that is a good thing. And schools, the average absenteeism rate for schools due to influenza-like illness in January 2026 was 6.9%. This figure decreased from the average absenteeism rate of 8.47%. Recorded in January of 2025. Outbreaks. There was 1 outbreak, COVID, reported in January of 2026, which is a decrease from the 8 outbreaks reported in January of 2025. And that is all I have. Okay. Number 10, there is no approval of the consent agenda. Number 11, we have no minutes. Number 12, no ordinances. Number 13, appointments and/or resignations. Okay. Can I get a motion to adopt resolutions A through C?
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner Henderson, a second.
Second.
Commissioner Carney, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Silverthorne?
Yes.
Director Space?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Deputy Director DeGroot?
Yes.
Number 14, resolutions. Can I get a motion to adopt resolutions A through K without I?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay. Commissioner Silverthorne and Deputy Director DeGroot seconds it. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Silverthorne?
Yes.
Director Space?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Deputy Director DeGroot?
Yes.
Okay, number 15, awards of contract change orders bid. The Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex has reviewed the award of contract change orders bids consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of the said resolutions is and will further the public interest. Can I get a motion to adopt the resolutions A through C?
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner Carney, and a second.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Henderson, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Silverthorne?
Yes.
Director Space?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Deputy Director DeGroot?
Yes.
Number 16, financials. Can I get a motion to pay bills list A from February 11th, 2026?
So move.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Henderson, and a second from Deputy Director DeGroot. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Silverthorne?
Yes.
Director Space?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Deputy Director DeGroot?
Yes.
Okay, B, payment of bills list B, February 11th, 2026. Can I get a motion to pay bills list B?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Commissioner Silverthorne, second.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Silverthorne?
Yes.
Director Space?
Abstain?
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Deputy Director DeGroot?
Yes.
Okay, number 17, personnel agenda of February 11th, 2026. Can I get a motion to approve the personnel agenda?
So moved.
Okay, Deputy Director DeGroot, and a second.
Second.
Commissioner Silverthorne, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Silverthorne?
Yes.
Director Space?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Deputy Director DeGroot?
Yes.
Okay, number 18, administrative report.
Okay, so, and I apologize, I was trying to get an update. So our Dennis Library, as we previously reported, our bids were open today, and the county is currently working on the award and should have an update shortly. There were 20 bids that came in that were open today for that project. We are still anticipating a construction start date to begin in April. Quick update on the Sussex County gastrointestinal illness that had been reported amongst social media. There were reports of numerous incidents of residents experiencing some type of gastrointestinal illness throughout the county. While there were reports of a particular location potentially receiving the bulk of these reports, a full investigation by our county health department was completed, and the pattern of illness is consistent with a common viral stomach illness similar to norovirus. While we cannot confirm that it was norovirus, I believe there was only one reported case that actually was tested, but all of the cases followed a similar pattern. And there were no, after another environmental assessment that was done on possible locations, there were no identified issues with any particular food establishment. So it's that time of year, November through February, March, where the norovirus cases and activity increases, and that's what seems to have occurred. And of course, individuals are reminded to practice good hand washing, stay home when sick, and to contact our health department if you do have any concerns or issues. The county, as was reported, continues to plan for America's 250th celebration. More will be forthcoming about this very exciting county celebration. Lafayette Holborn, again, we're still having continued issues with the vendor completing the construction. This has been forwarded to county council. We'll have further updates as that continues. I met with the county's department heads on February 3rd for an update regarding our feasibility study for the county departments. They are working on obtaining that information. I should have more details at our next commissioner meeting. And the Department of Engineering, again, I want to make sure that I'm also recognizing our DPW, our road staff, our fleet, our facilities, and our Office of Emergency Management for the work that they've been doing to keep the county safe during our recent storms. We've received some questions regarding snow fence that is traditionally put up throughout the county. This year, the county faced difficulties obtaining approval for installation of the snow fence. We can't, the installation of the snow fence is just not on county properties. It's also on public land from the state. It's also on private ownership. We've had some that did sign back and approve the installation of the fencing. However, we did receive a lot that we did not get approval for. So for the remainder of this winter, our Department of Engineering will be going out doing assessments of where these snow fence were put up traditionally and areas that experience, especially this past weekend with the snow drifts and so forth, see where those areas would need them going into next winter. And I should have a completed assessment after the end of this winter season. And that's all I have.
Thank you. County Council report.
I spoke briefly already on the ordinance, but beyond that, we have one other matter that's not listed on the executive session agenda, but needs to be under litigation. I need to discuss with you tonight the recommendation that the county join 18 other counties that are challenging the New Jersey Attorney General's supersession of the 3M PFAS settlement proceeds. As you know, we had joined a while back in some litigation over PFAS contamination in the county, but specifically to New Jersey, the Attorney General attempted to, or has taken action to prevent the counties from getting access to those funds 18 counties have banded together to try to undo that. I want to make sure that Sussex County has a seat at the table. So I'll discuss it with you in executive and hopefully come back and get a firm engaged to do that tonight. So, thank you. And it would be at no cost to the county. It's a contingent fee. Thanks.
Thank you. Number 20, unfinished business. Does anyone have any unfinished business? 21, new business. Any new business? 22, public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make general comments of 3 minutes or less on non-agenda topics. Please line up at the microphone and state your name and municipality for the record. Can I get a motion to open the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner Henderson in a second. Okay, Commissioner Silverthorne, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstain. Okay, the floor is open. Before you start, I just want to ask everyone to please keep their minutes, their comments under 3 minutes or just at 3 minutes, because last time people were going over and it's not fair to those that are keeping theirs at the 3 minutes. Thank you.
Ken Collins, Andover Township. I'm here tonight to express my concerns for our community as we are invaded by a terrorist organization called ICE. The United States is currently considered by much of the world as a dangerous destination. MAGA and ICE have been labeled by our allies as domestic terrorist organizations. ICE officers in New Jersey this month have advised citizens that they don't need warrants anymore. They arrive in unmarked vehicles wearing masks that shield their faces. If I saw one approaching me, I would automatically assume I was about to become the victim of a crime. However, if I were to fight back, I'd then be a criminal. If I were undocumented, I'd be taken to a concentration camp. If I'm a citizen, I'll be taken to jail. Why? Because we're no longer allowed. We're no longer allowed to defend ourselves from unidentified persons with face coverings and guns. This is not my opinion, it's a fact. We know this because we've all seen the videos. We know that kicking a taillight is punishable by execution, helping our friends and neighbors is punishable by execution, using our legal right to protest is punishable by execution, crossing the street is punishable by vehicular assault, and if we fight back, jail, straight to jail. This community has a school district that's won numerous awards for kindness. The children who attend those schools are presumably being taught that we don't hurt people, we don't kill people, we don't kidnap people, and yet on all their TV screens and social media platforms, they're watching children just like themselves being taken into custody, sometimes with family members, sometimes alone, sometimes they're being used to lure people who love them. At all times, they're being loaded into so-called detention centers with no access to lawyers, due process, education, proper nutrition, proper health care, clean water supplies, or even toys or games. This is also not an opinion. This is a fact. Our children are watching this unfold and they are frightened. What do we tell them about our nation? Do we teach them to run? Do we teach them to hide? Do we teach them to help their friends escape? Do we tell them that certain people don't belong here, just don't belong here? After teaching them for years that everyone should be included, or do we have the support of the officials that we, the people, elected and employed to assure them that their country loves them and will protect them from harm? Will you do the kind thing or the legal thing? Which one?
Hi, Gail Just from Layton, New Jersey. I love ICE. I think that everyone who comes here should be welcome if they come legally. That's great. I have two in my family who came from Colombia. I have two sons, both married to Colombians, who are Republicans, who voted for President Trump, who went through the legal procedure and became citizens. And they are outstanding people, both have jobs. Wonderful. I resent it when my tax money goes to pay for people who are here illegally. So I love ICE, and they can come to my neighborhood anytime they want. That's not why I'm here, though. That was just the answer. I'm here because the rallies that we have in the Newton Green, and I know are given security by our sheriff's office. I would like to see that anyone who applies for a permit to rally there, that permit has to go through both the commissioner's office and whoever it is that they apply, and I hoped that they would have insurance and also have their own private security people do the law enforcement there versus our sheriff's office, because that costs us overtime, and us taxpayers don't necessarily want to do that. Now, if somebody gets up and says it's only a small percentage of the sheriff's budget that goes for this purpose, I really don't care. I don't want any of my money going to that if they can do their own security. And the last thing I want to say is that I'm so glad that Bill Hayden is gone, because he was collecting money, over $2,000 a month, for all the meetings that he missed, and he missed a boatload of meetings. And I think it's unfair in that case, too, that we paid his salary. So thank you very much.
Wow, I did not expect this to move. Hi, my name is Sierra Wilson. I have my main residence in Bud Lake, but I have an address in Stanhope, which is in Sussex County. I have two questions for you all today. Last night, the Mount Olive Chief of Police announced that they will not work with ICE if ICE uses administrative warrants, only judicial warrants. Just to let you know, the judicial warrants are the only warrants that allow ICE to raid someone's home or business. Will you be instructing the Sussex County towns to do the same? And my second question for you is, Mikey Sherrill, this morning, our governor announced that no state property is allowed to host ICE raids. Will Sussex County be doing the same for county property? Okay, just to think about it. Thank you.
Good evening. Nina Friedel, Montague. Last time I was here, I mentioned that the No Kings organization is heavily funded by George Soros, and there was actually some things online saying that wasn't true. So I just wanted to be a person of my word and just hedge that. That's the funding to the No Kings Partners. You can go on their website, and they're very nice. There's, I don't know, 70, 80, 100 partners. And these organizations obviously are funding something, I don't know. So all that money, that's our point. With the citizens of Sussex County are paying for these protests, and these to an organization that's very heavily funded, and funded by some people who aren't really in favor of our democracy. So I think it's a matter of concern. The invasion by ICE, and that their country loves them, the illegals that are here, and should be protecting them. Well, I didn't invite them. Why did they come? And they're illegal. They came here illegally. So we voted to have them removed. The majority of the American people want them removed. It's unfortunate that there are struggles, because they're incentivized to do that because people think that they can interfere with law-abiding government operations, and that's unfortunate. It's not something I would want to do because I think it might be risky business, but everybody makes their own choices in this world. The other thing I wanted to say is that I just wish that everyone could take a step back and look at bigger picture that the world is facing, as well as the United States. There are forces much bigger than what we're talking about here, ICE and illegals and so on, that are really want to destroy humanity. Actually, they want to destroy humanity. And I wish that those who sincerely are advocating for these causes to do more research, step back, and see that there are other big forces at play, and that they maybe are being used as pawns in this. And I will be happy to give them sources where they can research on their own. And I just ask that they broaden their perspective a little bit. Thank you very much.
Good evening, David DeWitt from Hampton Township. A new Trump precedent for freedom of religious speech. I appreciate County Attorney Doug Steinhardt citing Kennedy versus Bremerton School District Supreme Court decision to justify Commissioner DeGroot's religious invocations and comments. Certainly, just because a person serves in an elected office does not constrain his freedom of speech on his religious beliefs. However, using the Kennedy v. Bremerton School District decision as justification to preach from the dais during a public meeting is a stretch for me. Kneeling for prayer on a public school's 50-yard line and making religious comments and invocation from the commissioner's chair are not analogous circumstances. Other court decisions balancing free speech and public support of religion clarify the issues more correctly than the Trump court decision of 2022. The Supreme Court's decision of 2000, Santa Fe, Texas Independent School District versus Doe, another prayer and football case, suggests that religious comments by a public official on governmental property during a governmental meeting might be considered by many as an affront to the integrity of Jefferson's wall of separation between church and state. Better to keep religion at church, not at work, especially while conducting business for the public at large. However, of much more importance to me is the Trump criminal's unwavering cult-like support he enjoys from the conservative ecumenical Christian establishment. The Trump criminal is certainly the worst Christian since the Inquisition. He has repeatedly broken almost every one of the 10 Commandments with impunity, selling Bibles with embedded secular political texts, even song lyrics, murdering untried, unconvicted Venezuelan boat people, lying to his 6 wives while committing adultery, stealing money from his own charitable foundation. These are just a few examples of scores of his transgressions. I understand the Christian tenet that you can be forgiven for your sins, but it must be pretty tedious to have to forgive Donald Trump almost every day, especially when he has never asked forgiveness for anything. The Christian nationalist movement believes that restoring Christianity and patriotism to the country above all else can only be done by pandering to and protecting the Trump criminal. Good luck. Almost every action and pronouncement by Trump discredits the Christian faith. I know a true Christian when I meet one, and Donald Trump is not one. Thank you, and thank you for your service.
Kathy Brennan, Hampton Township. I'd like to talk tonight about something that some other people have been talking about. I'd like to talk about detention centers. As we've been made aware, the Department of Homeland Security is seeking to purchase a large warehouse in Roxbury. This would be a travesty for this area and for the state. Sussex County towns such as Byram, Stanhope, and Hapatcong would be negatively impacted as they are part of the Musconetcong Sewage Authority. This proposed facility would put a great strain on this system. The property also may face very strict environmental issues. In my opinion, even though these are issues, these are not the most important issues to me. The most important issues to me are the moral ones. And these are centered around the reports of inhumane treatment of people that are put in these centers. Since my time is limited, I could not go into great enough detail to do justice to the hardships placed on these detainees. Many are not given their constitutional rights to due process or a lawyer. Families are not informed as to the whereabouts of their family members, and they are transferred at will. Inside these facilities, there's inadequate food, water, clothing, bedding, and medical care. I urge you to join Roxbury as well as other towns in denouncing the addition of any new detention centers and calling for the shutting down of those already in the state. And I will make this quick, and I will leave you to ponder on this. What will you be able to tell your children your grandchildren, when they ask, what did you do about this inhumane and un-American atrocity perpetrated by this administration? There are not so blind as those who choose not to see. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kim Fiola from Santiston Township. I'd like to share a passage that was delivered by Ronald Reagan in January of 1989. It was one of his farewell addresses. Since this is the last speech that I will give as president, I think it's fitting to leave one final thought, an observation about a county that I love, country that I love. It was stated best in a letter I received not long ago. A man wrote to me and said, "You can go to live in France, but you cannot become a Frenchman. You can go to live in Germany or Turkey or Japan, but you cannot become a German, a Turk, or Japanese. But anyone from any corner of the earth can come to live in America." Yes, the torch of Lady Liberty symbolizes our freedom and represents our heritage. The compact with our parents, our grandparents, and our ancestors. It is that lady who gives us our great and special place in the world. For it's the great life force of each generation of new Americans that guarantees that America's triumph shall continue unsurpassed into the next century and beyond. Other countries may seek to compete with us, but in one vital area, a beacon of freedom and opportunity that draws the people of the world, no country on earth comes close. This, I believe, is one of the most important sources of America's greatness. We lead the world because, unique among nations, we draw our people, our strength, from every country and every corner of the world. And by doing so, we continuously renew and enrich our nation. While other countries cling to the stale past, here in America, we breathe life into dreams. We create the future, and the world follows us into tomorrow. Thanks to each wave of new arrivals to this land of opportunity, we're a nation forever young, forever bursting with energy and new ideas, and always on the cutting edge, always leading the world to the next frontier. This quality is vital to our future as a nation. If we ever closed the door to new Americans, our leadership in the world would soon be lost. I urge you to speak up against the detention center in Roxbury. There's racial profiling happening across this country, and if you're white, you're in a good place, and if you're black or brown, you're not. So I urge you to please pass a resolution condemning a detention center in our county or in Morris County. Thank you.
Sandy Hall, Santiston Township. On the Facebook page of the Delaware Water Gap Defense Fund, I urge our over 5,000 members to attend their municipal and county meetings and support their elected officials. It's important to invest in one's community by being aware of what's happening in your neighborhood. That being said, the commissioner reports give updates and insights on our county happenings. The time and concern you give to our residents, often taking you away from your family and events, is certainly noteworthy. However, there are two individuals sitting with you at these meetings that are often not acknowledged, so I take this opportunity to thank County Councilor Steinhardt for his clarifications and explanations on some very difficult issues. I also want to acknowledge our county administrator, who has given informative updates on the operations in our county. I have to say I've learned more in the past two meetings than I have in the last 2 years, and I thank you for a job well done. And in view of some of the other comments here tonight, specifically ICE-MAGA detention centers, there comes a time when you need to shed your political affiliations, your aspirations, for whatever reason you're sitting here. You need to get rid of that. Look at the humanity of what's going on here. So when it comes time to make decisions, should ICE come knocking at Sussex County's door for a detention center, should anybody appear here, masked, guns, whatever, looking at anybody with brown or black skin, because as you said, we are white, we're all somewhat privileged. I hope you have the courage, the humanity to say, no, this is not going to happen in my neighborhood. I'm going to afford these people the justice that they deserve for due process under the Constitution. Thank you.
Good evening. Sandy Pender, Frieden Township. In previous meetings, you have announced plans for a countywide celebration to celebrate the 1776 signing of our Declaration of Independence. While I can appreciate and share your patriotism and pride in our shared history, I must ask all of us to consider exactly what we are celebrating. The signing of the Declaration of Independence was our ancestors' proclamation to be free from tyranny, free from a king, a tyrant, King George III. The Declaration of Independence was a formal explanation of why the Continental Congress voted to declare America's sovereignty. It justified the independence of the colonies, with the majority of the document citing 27 grievances against the King and Parliament. These 27 grievances seem to fall under three different themes: violation of self-governance, economic oppression, and abuse of military power. Due to time constraints, I will list only 10 of these grievances in very plain language. As I read them, please note if you see any similarities to our current situation. The King shrugged off legitimate complaints. The King slowed or refused appointments, hurting governance. Judges that were appointed were loyal to the King and therefore did what he wanted instead of what was right and fair. The King worked with Parliament to create laws that were unconstitutional. The King created pointless offices as a reason to appoint his own people, just to give the colonists trouble. The King gave dictatorial power to generals that used the military to suppress cities. The King filled the streets with a police force whose procedures the colonists had no control over. When soldiers committed crimes, they were protected from punishment. The King and Parliament made up crimes and took citizens to trial. And finally, the King and Parliament implemented taxation without representation. I include the last point of taxation without representation because although this is not currently the case, anyone that has been paying attention to changes they want to make in regard to voting, you can foresee where this is going. We are standing in front of a moment right now in 2026. We are all standing before a would-be king, an oppressor of the American people who is willing to dismantle our norms and governments for his own pride and his own profit. So as your county-wide event is planned, please remember what moment in history we are commemorating. The signing of the Declaration of Independence and the colonies renouncing a king are a truly significant event in our collective histories.
Jean Apriage, Hampton Township. I am deeply concerned that our local, state, and federal Republican leadership is not taking the numerous threats coming from the MAGA regime seriously. Tyrant Trump continues to lie about the security of our elections. To continue the lie that he won the 2020 election, he recently sent his henchmen to Georgia to raid the election office and steal ballots. Can you imagine the federal government barging into the Cochran House next door and raiding the election office, claiming with no proof that our election was fraudulent? Speaker Mike Johnson embellishes on the tyrant's lies and wants you to believe that illegal immigrants are voting in our elections. It simply is not true. They have no evidence to support their outlandish claims, yet they persist in spreading lies about our voting process. I ask our commissioners if there has ever been widespread voter fraud uncovered in Sussex County. The answer is no. The answer is no, because elections have been under the purview of local citizens who have diligently verified that every voter who votes is who they say they are. In Sussex County and countless counties across the country, voter registration officials take their job seriously to protect their local communities from fraud. Non-citizen voting is already prohibited under the U.S. Constitution and federal statute. There is no reason for the federal government to take over a process that has been safely in the hands of the states for 250 years. But that truth does not stop liars like Trump and Johnson, who are promoting the SAVE Act and MEGA Act in Congress. What is true is that the SAVE Act and MEGA Act, if passed, will disenfranchise millions of American citizens. Every woman who changed her name when she got married, every transgender person who changed their name, every person who does not possess a passport should be extremely concerned that their right to vote will be stripped away from them in 2026. At the last commissioners' meeting, I specifically asked Commissioner Carney as a candidate for county clerk to address this issue. He has not. None of you has. What will all of you do to prevent the SAVE Act and MEGA Act from being passed? I encourage every citizen in Sussex County to contact members of Congress and demand that they vote against the SAVE and MEGA Acts. In the absence of our commissioners from acting on our behalf to protect our right to vote, I encourage every concerned citizen in Sussex County to join us in our fight to protect our democratic system. I invite you to join Indivisible Sussex and unite with our fellow community members to do the work that our elected officials are neglecting to do. Support our community, help our neighbors, and make your voice heard.
Pamela Gray, Stillwater. Last week, I spent an hour sitting in this very room with a large group of our neighbors, mostly volunteers, who had gathered to form coalitions and cooperative efforts to help feed the hundreds of Sussex County families who can no longer access enough food. They are struggling because benefits have changed, health insurance costs have risen, and the overall cost of living has increased drastically. As I sat here, I thought about one of the first speeches I gave in this very room more than a year ago. I asked the commissioners then, what was your plan to proactively prepare Sussex County residents while we were clearly watching safety net programs being dismantled at the national level? You responded with the same answer month after month. You could not plan for something that had not yet happened. What most of us asked then and continue to ask now is that you publicly push back against the actions that are being advanced by the current Republican leadership. While I appreciate that you highlight efforts such as hosting a veterans breakfast, I feel compelled to tell you that the veterans in my life would have foregone the breakfast if they knew their elected county officials were pushing back against cuts that the Republicans have made to veterans' health benefits and their access to mental health care. In the same way, while I value your decisions to recognize our local food pantries for their work with awards, there has been no challenge by any of you to the fact that this Republican-led Congress has approved tax breaks for billionaires and corporations while shifting greater costs onto lower-income households and people who rely on affordable health care, which has resulted in the fact that we now have neighbors in truly dire situations. It feels as though the larger story has been lost, that you as our elected officials have voices and platforms, and you can choose to speak out on behalf of the people you represent. We are asking you to use those voices with the same energy you bring to ceremonial events and public acknowledgments. The crisis is already here. Over the past 12 months, we have watched needs explode. And while you tell us about the places you have visited, ordinary residents have stepped up. We have organized mutual aid drives, supported 24 food pantries, helped our schools with the weekend backpack program, filled the Horton Nutritional Center at the college, and covered unpaid student lunches in our local schools. This is what communities do. We take care of each other. I cannot help wondering how much more prepared we would be today if our elected leaders had listened instead of seeing us as alarmists. History shows us again and again that harm grows when officials look away and citizens are not heard. Indivisible Sussex and so many volunteers have refused to look away. We hoped you would join us in that effort. That partnership still matters, and it is not too late to choose. Thank you.
Good evening, Patricia Heaney, Lafayette. I'm going to mention some good things that Trump did. Trump prevented the Great Reset, which was supposed to enslave all of mankind. Trump prevented the destruction of America, which was supposed to happen under Hillary Clinton. Trump arrested Jeffrey Epstein and ended his operation to sexually blackmail influential leaders. Trump ended mass censorship and restored free speech. Trump arrested multiple heads of global drug cartels and ended the world's greatest drug operations. Trump removed the USA from the WHO, effectively preventing their plan for world domination. Trump will abolish the United Nations again, ending the agenda for a one-world government. Trump exposed the mind control of the news media and popularized the term fake news media. Trump empowered the rise of alternative news media that counters the lies of the mainstream. Trump exposed election fraud and is busy making elections around the world safe again, and 2020 was stolen. We'll find that out shortly. Trump exposed the deep state for the whole world and is busy eradicating it. Trump launched a worldwide war against child trafficking and human rights abuse. Why aren't we talking about all the kids that are being trafficked and the women? And what about all the women that are raped and murdered by the illegal immigrants? Why don't we bring them up? Trump brought faith, prayer, and the Bible back in public buildings and society. Trump exposed the deep corruption of the CIA, FBI, and DOJ. Trump ended the brainwashing of children by abolishing the Department of Education. Trump will restore quality education by offering the free American Academy to the youth. Trump defunded the LGBTQ and transgender agenda and is restoring healthy families in America. Trump is ending the poisoning of the food and restores healthy nutrition. Trump ended the mass invasion of illegals, which was supposed to destroy America. He ended worldwide funding of the deep state evil activities through USAID. He ended massive theft of trillions of American tax dollars. He's going to end taxes and will restore health to the American people. He's ended the satanic rule in Hollywood and appointed Gibson and Stallone as his eyes in Hollywood. He empowered millions of patriots worldwide to oppose the deep state and the New World Order. Trump ended the climate change scam, which was supposed to be the excuse for global tyranny. He ended childhood vaccine mandates and reduced the vaccines from 70 to 9. And there's 1,000 other things Trump did to end the rule of evil. Thank you very much for your time.
Laura Haug from Freedom. I wanted to commend Commissioner DeGroot on your recent appearance at the March for Life in DC. It was truly moving to know that you were standing there in the cold, championing the voiceless. It takes a certain kind of dedication to go to Washington just to tell everyone how much you value the sanctity of human existence. It is a bold stance, valuing life. Since you've clearly established yourself as an advocate for the living, I assume you're looking to expand that portfolio. I mean, why stop at the womb? It's a great starter kit, but there's a whole world of life out there that could use a little bit of fierce advocacy right now. For instance, children suffering from rare diseases who are currently waiting for the kind of medical research funding that seems to disappear into legislative void. I'm sure your pro-life stance includes them. At least I hope so. Or do they lose their sanctity once they require a line item in a budget? Let's also really talk about the hard cases, the ones that are inconvenient for the campaign flyer, like the 12-year-old girl who was a victim of rape. Surely a pro-life advocate like yourself is just as committed to protecting her life and her future as you are to the zygote she's being forced to carry. Because nothing says valuing life like telling a traumatized child that her primary function is now a biological vessel. I'm sure, and I hope, that you already are supporting the legislation to support her through lifelong trauma. While we're on the roll, let's broaden our horizons. Since life is so sacred, the quality of life should matter too. It's radical, I know. It would be amazing to see your advocacy extend to BIPOC communities who are tired of being told their lives matter when the data on maternal mortality and systemic bias says otherwise. Transgender individuals who are just trying to live their lives without being used as a political football. Immigrants who, oddly enough, are also human beings, despite what pro-life brochures might leave out. It is a big job being an advocate for life and quality of life. But I do have faith in you. Since you've already got the pictures and signs from the march, you're halfway there. Let's just see if that commitment to life can survive a walk through a neighborhood that isn't yours, or a medical ward, or a border crossing, or a lockdown with students. I look forward to seeing your upcoming advocacy that reflects this total unwavering commitment to all human life. Unless, of course, that life ends at birth. But that would be hypocritical, wouldn't it? Thank you, and God bless.
I want to thank you for your time, and I appreciate your service. My name is Christine Henry, Vernon, New Jersey. We see a president using the power of the state as a weapon for personal vengeance, enrichment, and racial grievance. You see him publicly dehumanize political opponents and entire communities, posting imagery that would be at home in the darkest chapters of American history. You see the Obamas mocked like animals, Somali Americans called garbage, critics smeared as enemies or terrorists. Minimize it, or cheer it on. We see prices rise while jobs disappear. We see families working harder for less while the president and his family rake in billions. Foreign deals, branded properties, pay-to-play politics, open corruption in plain sight. You see tax cuts for the wealthy while millions lose health insurance and hospitals shut down their services. You know who pays the price, and it isn't the people on top. We see mass federal agents breaking down doors without warrants, dragging people away without cause, demanding papers at checkpoints. We see Americans assaulted, detained, killed, and then immediately slandered by the government that killed them. We see elections deliberately undermined. We see voter data seized, lies about the 2020 endlessly recycled, and the groundwork laid so that any loss can be declared illegitimate. You see a government more interested in clinging to power than honoring the will of the people. We see measles outbreaks in a country that eradicated it generations ago. We see science discarded, public health hollowed out, and ideology replace evidence. We see children dying here and abroad because aid was slashed, medicine withheld, famine ignored, wars prolonged. You see suffering that America once worked to prevent. We see billionaires looting the country with impunity. See Musk flooding politics with money while his platforms rot and his ambitions balloon beyond accountability. We see the same wealthy, powerful men connected to abuse, exploitation, and Epstein's crimes continue to walk free, protected by money and influence. And we pretend this is meritocracy. We all see it. See it? I see it. We all see it. We've chosen comfort over conscience, tribe over truth, power over decency. And history's watching that choice, just as it's watched every generation that convinced itself that this time was different, this cruelty was justified, this corruption was tolerable.
John Snyder, Sanderston. Before I start, I would like to recognize the passing of one of our county residents, Harvey Rosef, a Byram Township councilman. Years ago, I think he ran for commissioner. He passed away, I think it was last Monday. I don't know where to start. Supposedly we have a bunch of tolerant people in here. Sound very intolerant to me. The hatred that I hear for the President of the United States is sickening. I had to put up with Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden. You knew how sick I was to be living in a country being led by those people. Embarrassment. Now we have somebody who's trying to do something. Is he perfect? I'm not perfect. I don't think anybody in this room is perfect. But he's trying to do things for the country. Right now we have this thing called the SAVE Act, which is basically, from what I understand, showing some kind of proof ID that you are really eligible to vote. You're a citizen of the country. 85% of Republicans support this. 71% of the Democrats support it. And it goes across racial lines. African Americans support it. Hispanics support it. But Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer call this, well, Schumer anyway, calls it Jim Crow 2.0, I believe is a quote from him. Guy that's totally out of touch with humanity, in my opinion. A couple of weeks ago, Trump announced these savings accounts for young people. I believe the federal government started them off with $1,000. And also, recently, pharmaceutical companies have come along with him in trying to reduce the cost of prescription medications. RFK Jr. is trying to make us healthier by cleaning up some of the food additives and things that go into our foods. Yet, name something that the other people that I named, Carter, Obama, name something positive. Biden, name something positive they contribute to this country. I can't find anything. And somebody also mentioned that the poll workers here check IDs. As far as I understand, that's illegal in New Jersey for a poll worker to ask for an ID. Thank you.
Business.
Motion.
In a second. Commissioner Carney, any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained. Number 23, reminders.
Normally, everyone this position not to, but I do want to hit on something because I'm super passionate about it. I'll speak for myself and possibly Director Space. 3 or 4 years ago, we passed a resolution for voter ID. I believe strongly in voter ID. You need a voter license for library card, a hotel check-in, then a card in your schools. So to get your point as you have before, 100% I believe in voter ID. Very, very passionate about it. I push that resolution to other municipalities we face that as well. So to give you your answer, that's my answer. Thank you.
The last time I voted, I signed my signature and the lady says to me, because that's how they tell is your signature has to match the same. And I signed and she said, okay, well, that's your new signature. I'm like, what? Because my signature now is chicken scratch, but I used to, when I was younger, I would write out my full name. So now I have to remember when I go to vote that I have to chicken scratch my name. Okay. Number 23, reminders. Please check the county's website at www.sussex.nj.us for meeting schedules. Linda, you're up.
Resolution providing for an executive closed session not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 10:4-12 et sec. Whereas the subject matters about to be discussed may be excluded from the public portion of the meeting by resolution of the Board of County Commissioners as an exception to the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12B, and whereas it appears necessary for the Board of County Commissioners to discuss such matters in executive session. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex, in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 10:4-12B and NJSA 10:4-13, that the board at this time enter into an executive session from which the public shall be excluded. And be it further resolved that the general nature of the subjects to be discussed relate to the following items authorized by NJSA 10:4-12B as designated below. Number 7, matters relating to litigation, negotiations, and the attorney-client privilege. Newton Green, policy, promotion effective dates, and we've added PFAS settlements. Good. Be it further resolved that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners or provided by law that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality, and be it further resolved that upon completion of the business for which the board has entered into the executive session, the board shall reconvene and resume its meeting open to the public. And be it further resolved that the board expects may take formal action after returning from executive session, except to adjourn the regular meeting.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to adopt the executive session resolution and enter into executive session?
So moved.
Commissioner Carney, and a second. Second. Deputy Director DeGroot, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstain. Aye. Thank you, everyone.